Said you won't touch that button, bitch.
Oh my.
Grammar Club.
Hey, listen.
Hey guys, Grammar Club.
You better bring it.
I can't believe you've done this.
But enough talk. How about you?
Welcome to Camp Handsome, a beautiful place for the convocation of comely men.
Okay, I said podcast.
Now, here's your host,
That's fine.
the Grammar Club.
That's fine. Okay.
That'll work.
But hey, thank you. I'm Shael Riley, and I have some good friends, collaborators with me. We're the Grammar Club now. And hello. Yeah.
This is an excellent, entertaining start.
You really did.
I know,
this
I'm the
real
best.
well.
We're all great. Okay, so what, Glenn? That's a good interjection. Why don't you get us started? Because the Grammar Club, I didn't think I was going to do it again. And then, I went on your podcast a while ago, like a year ago or something. And, we were talking about the old times.
Certainly.
And I think you said, if you
I
do
said
another
I'd be
one,
open to it.
you'll be on. No, you said you had to be on it. You said I said, yeah.
Okay,
But I
yeah,
don't think we're going to do it.
something along those lines. And then one of my coworkers asked me if I'd ever heard of Beefy, and I said, yeah. I used to be in a group with him. It was called the Grammar Club. And so from there, he said, do you think Beefy would be willing to play SpoCon, this thing that I put together in Spokane? I said, I think he would be honored that you asked. And so that evolved into, well, what about if we had a Grammar Club reunion that would play at SpoCon? Do you think it would be possible for you to set that up? And here we are.
Yeah.
That's the whole
great.
story.
Pretty well. I think we were like, well, we might as well, if we're going to do a show, we'd probably get some new material together. And then we just did this Patreon. I don't know. It snowballed. There you go.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure did.
So that's nice.
So,
that's pretty cool.
Shout out to Dan Moberg for asking me who Beefy was. Asking if I knew who Beefy was.
I'm like the glue that holds the internet all together. You guys, you're welcome.
Kind of.
I appreciate the accolades. No, it's really cool because I don't know Dan. He seems like a fine gentleman.
Yeah, he's certainly got good taste in music, right?
He got great taste in gentlemen named Beefy. That's for damn sure.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ.
All right.
So yeah, that's the entire story. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, guys.
That's it. No, but
that
then
was $10 a month well spent.
It was $10. Thank you. Oh, so this is a podcast. I'm gonna have to edit this down.
The coolest part about that is that we've never even been in the same state at the same time, much less in the same room.
Yeah.
And
not all of us.
There's going to be a lot of interesting logistics putting together a live show for that. And I'm excited about the prospect for sure.
Do you remember the last live show?
The last live show. This is Beefy reporting to you live from the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about the first live show of the Grammar Club. This was unfortunately without Glenn Case. Mm-hmm. No Glenn Case. Ty was there. There was a what is his name in our group? Was it Kabuto or was it DJ Snyder or was it Dan? Just Dan?
Let's call him. He's Dan.
He's just Dan.
So
now.
Dan was there. Ty was there. Me and Shael doing good things. So it turns out, rehearsal time. When you're going to EPP house and everyone's just living there. We didn't rehearse. We couldn't rehearse. There was no time to rehearse. And throughout the set, and maybe I wish Dan was here to kind of explain what happened, but wasn't like his mixer going halftime and Ricky was hearing it all and full-time our drummer.
Yeah.
And we had a timing just the worst. I felt so bad.
You could not get a worse setup than
It was rough. I think we didn't figure it out. Yeah, I was trying to rap over it. Yeah. It was all different. And Ricky felt terrible. I felt so bad for him too because he was... I couldn't rap when the drums were different from the beat. And I don't think we figured out the issue until the last song of the entire fucking set. And me and Shael shared the set together. Oh my god.
It was the worst. It was the worst. We could not have had a worse possible show. But
But God bless those Nerdapalooza fuckers at the time because those fans were still eating it up. They loved it. They still liked for some Red Cyclone worked. So some of it was it was good times. You know what? This is what every band needs to go through. I wish it was more than just our first and only set, really.
Well, looks like we're going to go play SpoCon, so we'll have another chance.
musical guests of honor on top of that, which means that not only do we have a performance that will take place on that Friday night, but we'll also be expected to take part in panels and ask, Q&A, have Q&A with the audience, and answer questions about the group and about creating music, nerdcore, that sort of thing. So,
and here's the thing, it's not going to be put upon me. I'm thrilled for this shit because I like to talk about me specifically, and this is right up my alley, really.
Yeah.
I'm pretty pumped about SpoCon. Well, representing SpoCon. I'm super
me
hyped.
too.
I'm super hyped for it.
Yeah, we owe SpoCon a grit of Dadditude for. Wow. Did I say a grit of Dadditude?
I think you did, and that was a beautiful spoonerism.
I currently live in a datarism.
Is that like if you hate your kids, you have the regret of datarism?
You know what? I'm just gonna.
You don't have to hate your
hard
kids.
Stop.
There it is.
Let's move.
I feel like one thing for anyone who is listening, maybe each of us introduces ourselves. And
I was going to say the same thing.
That's funny. We're just on the same wavelength there.
All right, let's just all say, I am Grammar.
Oh, yeah. It's like, I am Negan. I'm Negan.
All right.
I am the mall.
I'm stronger than them all.
Let's go in alphabetical order. So starting with Ailshawn.
That's me. I'm Ailshawn.
What can you tell us about yourself, Ailshawn?
It's all classified. I can't really tell you very many things.
Yeah. It doesn't come off record for another 30, 35 years?
All right, you know what?
No, like 9.
I'm going to introduce everybody.
That's probably
I'm looking forward to hearing this.
Okay, good.
Should be good.
So Ailshawn is just my favorite guitarist in the world. He is a beautiful.
Whoa!
player.
There's 3 other guitarists in this band. Let's not create bad blood, sir.
I'm not ashamed to say I'm the.
No, you're
worst
awesome.
one.
You're such a phenomenal player. You're such a great instrumentalist and arranger. I'm so happy working with you. You are an Overclocked remixer that I've always looked up to, and I am still a huge fan. I've known you for a very long time, maybe longer than actually anybody else here, because I have been talking to you since I think 2002 when they opened the Overclocked forums.
Yeah, probably right about then.
Yeah. So we go way, 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 way back, and I don't think even you guys knew that. I have not interacted with you perhaps as much as a lot of the other guys, but I've known you for a very long time. So it's really great to be doing this with you. Sean has a group called Grass and Stone. That is your newer project. You want to talk about that a little bit?
That's the original stuff that I do. Mm-hmm. There's Grass and Stone, and then there's also sometimes it's Foggy and sometimes it's Clear, which is really just 2 sort of branches of the same thing. But Grass and Stone is really, at the root of it, just me and Joshua Grassley. And I don't really write music. I arrange and record and perform music. He writes a lot of music, and so the 2 of us do those 2 things together, and we come up with kind of similar idea to what the Grammar Club does, except with sort of more limited personnel. But then when we play live, we have a full band that we play with as well.
Nice. And you're also in Lonely Rolling Stars.
Lonely Rolling Stars, yes, which is speaking of no rehearsal. None of us live anywhere near each other except the 2 Seattleites. We've got a guy in Seattle and a guy on Whidbey Island near Seattle. So when we play, it's a similar deal to what we're going to be doing with the Grammar Club. And Norg, George Novick, and I were also in the Smash Brothers, which was the same thing. We played like the first 9 or 10 Magfests. And it was always just show up, learn a Dream Theater album basically in a week.
Oh wow!
I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Smash Brothers or not, but Vert did most of the arranging. So it's learning an entire set worth of Vert material.
That's incredible. I mean, I was there for all those early Smash Brothers shows. They were so fun. Just the energy of the crowds were great back when we were young.
Yeah, when we had the energy.
But
it was fun.
That was an awesome band. It was a super fun super fun group, and every show I
And
really
we fed
enjoyed.
we fed the crowd a lot of times too, which is nice.
Literally bacon.
Yeah, we would give them we gave them bacon one year.
Bacon
we
and Taco
fed,
Bell.
Yeah.
We gave them Swedish meatballs one year, which was fun. So anyway, so that's sort of the same line of what we're going to be doing for SpoCon, of rehearsing everything in a very short amount of time together where we've never met before. So that'll be a blast. So anyway,
I'm
moving on
hoping we'll get
to
a little.
Beefy.
Yeah, a little more time for SpoCon. I'm hoping we'll get maybe we can get together a few days in advance.
At least a couple days.
A day
would
or
be
three.
nice.
I'm hoping.
I will say that I have a house and we can rehearse in it. So
that's right. We have someone who lives near the convention. That's useful.
Very, very much
I'm
so.
2 hours away, but you're still welcome to come hang out.
Oh,
it's a bit of a trek.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I feel like Beefy and I are actually just going to end up having like secret rehearsals all the way up to it and be like,
Oh, yeah. It's real easy to rehearse a lot of this stuff when you just have the rapper that's just going to be vocalizing. Are my levels good? Oh man, I'm really glad we got this rehearse timing, guys. This is good.
What do you do as a rapper when it's not your time to do the raps?
I'll bring the cowbell.
Yeah, man, I'm really curious to find out.
You know what comes to mind? It comes to mind like rock bands, or like in the game Rock Band, being a vocalist during like a solo, or when they make you clap. When they make you clap, that. Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll do some cowbell, or maybe you guys have a tambourine. I can
figure it out.
Yeah, maraca. I'm Hispanic. I can't get maracas without it being too weird.
All right, so reeling it back in, Beefy.
Yeah.
You're Beefy. You are a guy who's very well known in the nerdcore scene genre. You've been around for a very long time. You've done a lot of raps. And I love you. Everybody loves you. You have a pretty big following. You have a number of records you've released. You're still performing. You're still recording. And I've known you, I guess, since about 2006, maybe 6. I think I met you. Did we meet on MC Frontalot's forums or was it?
It was
MC Chris's forums,
and it was MC Chris with me too. Yeah,
and Glenn,
right. We met on MC Chris's forum.
MC Chris, for all the shit he gets, he really brought nerdcore together, or at least the Grammar Club.
Yeah, I remember how I came to get talking to you. You had posted Whitesican, which is your first correct me if I'm wrong, that's your first self-released internet
very
release,
first foray into releasing the collection of music.
So, you posted it for like workshopping, and you were getting a pretty standard compliment of one line, "Oh, this is hot fire," or "No, this is garbage trash."
Right. Yeah.
Like not really any constructive criticism at all. And I was coming out of like Overclocked Remix, where like the more lengthy and verbose your criticism is, the bigger your dick is. So I just gave you a huge one.
And I knew your dick was huge after that too. I was like, it feels like he's swanging.
Because I was 23 or something, and
in my prime.
Yeah, but I was really nitpicky and analytical, but you were appreciative of my criticism, which was intended to be constructive, and I'm glad it was received that way.
It was.
And,
it's when people take the time to actually listen to it and deconstruct it and give actual feedback instead of just
and that made me like and the fact that it was so well received made me like Beefy a lot instantly, and we were fast friends. We've always gotten along really well ever since. It's always fun to work with you. You were a genius. Your speed and ability at coming up with very clever lyrics is impressive. And you are even better than ever now. Like, you're even better than I remember you. It's stunning, all the stuff you come up with every day. It's such an exciting project.
No,
I know it sounds like bullshit, because people say that kind of thing all the time and you become a nerd to it, but I really feel that way. So
I appreciate that. I appreciate it. It's fun. This is like the dopest project, because we've known each other, like you said, for a bunch of years. I took that I don't even remember there being that much criticism. I remember you actually gave some kind of insight into like pretty much every track on there, if not else. And I remember like emailing you and talking more about it, because White Skin EP put that out when I was like right out of high school, and I was just beats I had stole from mp3.com and just some garbage I'd found elsewhere, and just on my Radio Shack mic. But I really wanted to do it better, and you had, just based on your information or what you were posting about my stuff, was very clear that you actually knew at least a thing or two. I know you were lying. Now that I've known you for a while, I know half of it was bullshit. But at the time, I was naive and young and fragile and 18 or whatever.
That's right.
So, but no, it was this project. So we've been working forever. We made Misinformation was like our first collab ever, and that was a lot of fun. And we've done just a bunch of shit, dude. Like we've just known some stuff, and this project is, doing the Grammar Club for so long has been cool and everything, but it's always been kind of more compartmentalized. Just because you guys would do the music stuff, I'd get a demo at some point, but this thing, like we're doing now, with everybody kind of just throwing things into our collective clubhouse, as it's named, and everyone just kind of like throwing up tracks, and like I'll come in and see Ty has a new mix, and Tanner has a new mix, and Glenn's throwing a new song. Like we have new verses. Sean has these new guitar bits, and he's got the drums in there and stuff. Like it's fucking wild, dude. Like it's super cool. And being the guy that's the rapper. He said, like, what is it like when you're not rapping? Like, I'm just going to be, I show up with an iPad and I do my thing, and sometimes people dig it. Hopefully they do. But it's lonely up there, man. So, like, I am so excited to have, like, bandmates and, like, other people to, like, have that energy with there. Because when we did our stuff in Nerdapalooza, even though it was our technical difficulties were many, we just did that shit and it's a ton of fun. It was a lot of great energy up there. And then when we did the last Nerdapalooza, we had a couple songs we did together, and that was fun as shit too. So, but yeah, man, I do my thing. We've been making records. I make a ton of records with Tanner, who's our other member, newest member. I don't know how we classify Tanner, because he's worked on some other things. But
I'd say he's the newest member.
Tanner's my boy, since I stole him in the early 2000s. and I just love working with all you guys. All of you, except for Ty. Fuck you. Just kidding.
I like how he throws the just kidding on there really quick, just to clarify.
I didn't want to hear any more of the loud sounds. I thought he was going to punish me for it.
Awesome. Thank you. Awesome. All right. I love you, Beefy. Glenn Case. Glenn Case, man. The prodigal son of the Grammar Club. Here and back again. I love you, Glenn. I have immense respect for you. You are a fantastic songwriter. Your body of work is staggering. You work so fast, just like Beefy. I'm slow, and the speed at which you can write really interesting and complex music with clever lyrics and perform it and produce it. You are a talent, the likes of like John Colton. It's very impressive what you do. Well, I
thank you for that.
You are. It's the same kind of thing, and it's the same level of speed.
I was talking about doing an album thing called I joined the band, We Sound Good, Now I Quit.
Yeah.
Because that's that, I did that even I'm literally in 5 band projects now. And
yeah, I don't doubt it. I know.
This is one of them. But with
I know you're
Jones,
always talking about all of them. Yeah, Buffalo Jones. That's like your oldest one, right?
It is.
I remember you being in Buffalo Jones. Like when we did the last time we did a Grammar Club record, you were in Buffalo Jones.
Yeah, it's been 10 years. 10 years in Buffalo Jones, and I was their bass player, and then I quit that band for a while.
Oh, look at this guy.
And I came back.
Quitter here.
Yeah, I had a lucky friend that replaced you at one point. That was your replacement, and then he left, and then you replaced him. It was
I've been back ever since, though.
I have to ask you, based on this pattern of behavior, Glenn, when you were in when you were in high school, did you ever quit your high school band and reform it, except without that one guy?
It's really funny you should say that, because I was in junior high. I actually did quit band. So it's a pattern. But no, what I will say about Buffalo Jones is I have stuck around ever since, though. I've never quit a second time. So
that's good.
So if we go by that, then
that's a nice character arc for you.
I quit, but only once.
All right. That was, and
then I come back. It works out.
Tell us about Buffalo Jones. Give us the details.
Buffalo Jones started off as a 3-piece that rehearsed in the public library, because Jason works for the library. They tell you to be quiet in the library. Well, after hours, we were getting very loud in that library. And we're just a local Spokane band that has been together 10 years and have only recorded 2 full-length albums and an EP. But we're looking at potentially increasing the output. Funny enough, if you do look on YouTube for Buffalo Jones and Beefy, one particular time we played at this place called Ray's, is it the Golden Lion?
Ray's Golden Lion. Yes,
Ray's Golden Lion. And Beefy joined us on stage where I taught my guys on the spot how to play the chords for Balloon Flight.
Oh, that's right. Was it Balloon Flight?
That's right. Yeah.
It was that or Tabletop. I couldn't remember, but Balloon Flight. That was right.
We totally did Balloon Flight.
Really cool.
And,
that was amazing too.
So
that place is closed now too, man. It's so sad.
Is it?
Is it?
It's so
I won't
sad.
get to go. Too bad.
But yeah, no, there's that. There's a new project called The Great Mimes that I'm working on an album. I'm doing the finishing touches on the album, which is stopped me from getting as much of my homework done for this group as I need to. I am a monster. But once that's hammered out, then I should be able to concentrate more on getting this.
That's okay. I think I'm almost out of scheduled homework. So it's like
Perfect.
I will be the one. Soon I will be the one who's remiss there.
Aha!
Well, that's the beauty of a collective like this, man. You can have someone have a low time when everybody else is cranking
For
stuff
as long
out,
as we
man.
don't
It works.
all fuck off at the same time.
At the same time, yeah,
Get all
that's the
maintained.
key.
Cool.
And the other 2
Glenn-
projects are literally on demand because this other
Tell us about
band down south, they have a number of different bass players available, a number of different guitarists available, and a number of different drummers available. So all they do on that case is ask, this such and such date, are you available? And either I am or I'm not. If I am, then I play it, and I make between
nice.
$100 and $125 per night to play cover tunes.
Nice.
Sometimes with people that I've never shared a stage with. Like, you meet them, and then 5 minutes later, you're playing, like, Brown Eyed Girl and stuff, and it sounds like you've rehearsed for months because it's the bar band songs that everyone knows. And
Yeah, man.
so people can just get in where they fit in, and it works out. So while that is one of the 5 bands, it also isn't particularly time-consuming either. So it works out.
That's
really interesting, though. Mm-hmm. That's a cool
I'm
thing.
more of like the hired gun for that one.
Yeah. You're the assassin. I like
Something. Kill that shit.
it. Kill it.
With
All right.
bicorn.
And the third. What's the third band?
Well, but let's see. It was Buffalo Jones and Grammar Club, of course, is one of them that I count now. The Great Mimes. Now, I am really looking forward to the Great Mimes getting out there because I'm in my 40s. Don Hawkins is a local guy who's in his 60s, and Andy Rumsey's in his 30s. We're all singer-songwriters who play every instrument we can get our hands on, and we're all, like, I think I am I'm definitely the worst drummer in the band. Probably the worst guitarist in the band.
Yeah.
But like songwriting wise and harmony wise, we all are able to, again, get in where we fit in. But we're also busy enough with other projects that we'll probably play maybe 4 times a year. It would be about what I would anticipate will happen with this particular project.
Very cool.
And then the 4th one was the hired gun thing, and the 5th one is to be determined. It'll be Rachel on lead vocals, my lovely wife, on lead vocals. And it'll be another cover band sort of thing, more than likely. But there's exciting plans for that, but that one's a ways off.
So we just uploaded 12 of your albums.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I
right?
realized I need to add the Captain S soundtrack. So
That'll be the 13th.
There you go. That was part of the joke there.
Where did we meet each other? We met each other at the MC Chris boards.
We definitely did the
Also,
MC Chris boards.
Like the same, kind of the same way.
MC Chris
Not
boards,
exactly
and
the
then
same way.
From there, you ended up asking me if I was interested in doing the theme song and a song called All's Fair in Love and Sega for the Captain S soundtrack.
Yeah, which my friend Chad Williams and my brother Devin and some other folks were doing in New York City in like 2007, 6, 7.
Yeah, I was wondering about that myself.
Yeah.
I looked back and it looks like it was 2007, mostly like late 2006, early 2007.
Yeah. I mean, like the director had asked me if I would do all the soundtrack and like score, for lack of a better term. I guess some of it was score, and I was like, I don't really know how to do that. but I knew you had this. I knew you had an incredible ability to turn out music very, very quickly, and you were very open to taking lots of projects. So I thought I would just run the idea by you, and
Sure.
it worked out very well.
Yeah, absolutely. That was the reason I had a 15-year-old from Liverpool back in the days of MySpace asking if I was the real Glenn Case.
That's hilarious.
And I was. I thought that was hilarious. I was like, I can't imagine someone would want to be pretending to be me.
No,
but yeah,
I have actually had that happen to me 3 or 4 times in my life. Someone has accused me of not being me. That has happened to me.
Yeah,
I wouldn't believe it if I told me, but I know it happened because I am me.
nice.
You know?
People always ask me if I'm Billy the Fridge, so I get. I'm like, do I have that hair? It's like I just thought you got a haircut, Billy. I'll be Beefy. My bad. I'm sorry.
we were playing online Scrabble, and it was me playing with probably at least one other person in Dale North, and somebody pops on and they're like, "Oh my God, are you the real Dale North? And you're the real Ailshawn?" And we're like, "No." And like today, that would kind of make sense, but like 12 years ago, when neither one of us, like there was no way anyone would be impersonating us.
No, like that kind of stuff happened back when the internet was small. There was also less of a sense of scope. You weren't sure how famous somebody was.
Well, see, and that makes me think of the thing with MC Chris, MC Chris at the second Penny Arcade Expo, I believe it was 2005, and I hear MC's voice say, "Glenn!" I'm like, he knows my name,
right?
Because I'd met him once at like this place called Fat Tuesdays here in Spokane, exactly. Yeah. And he says, "Glenn, I heard your remix of Fats Vet. I really like it." I'm like, "You've heard my remix? You liked it?" It's like, "I want to use it on tour." So he actually used my Fats Vet remix that year on tour. When he came back to Spokane, he actually asked, "Is Glenn Case in the crowd?" I raised my hand, and he's like, "Check this shit out." And then he ended up doing my remix for Fats Vet that time.
Nice. That's really cool. That's really nice. Yeah.
That Fat Tuesday show was my very first live show ever. I didn't know you then.
Oh, well, how crazy is that?
That's amazing. I didn't even know you were there.
Yeah, I was.
Small world.
Well, Spokane. Small Eastern
There you go. There you go. And I met some of my future friends also that I hang out with a lot now were also at that show and did not know me at the time either. So
MC Chris bringing people together.
Small world, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's enough about me.
Okay. Tanner 4105.
What is up?
Hi. Thanks for talking with us.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Tanner, we've been having a good time. I don't know you, I guess, as well as the rest of the group, but we've been having a good time getting to know each other, playing Rocket League, and you're a super cool guy. I'm going to put it out there. It's official.
You are super cool.
You're going to ruin his reputation.
That was the worst silence, guys. Zero affirmation for my ability to officiate Tanner's coolness, which is fair because I don't have that right. But all right. Anyway, Tanner, hello.
Hello again.
All right. So
we have worked together in the past.
We have.
I through Beefy's files. I remembered Minimum Wage Slave. I had totally forgotten about that one.
I did not know that you did the instrumental for that.
Yes.
So you haven't met, but he's been through your files.
Yeah, and we were at a Nerdapalooza together.
Yes,
and we still haven't met. We passed probably inches from each other at some point, but just oblivious.
That's very likely.
Right? Who cares? Who cares who these other people are?
Who cares about all of them? They don't matter, guys, because they're ants.
But now we play Rocket League, and Tanner, you're a very talented sound designer. You're doing all our mastering, which is phenomenal to have a guy who is in-house mastering, and you and Ty are sharing the mixing responsibilities. You guys are doing a stellar job. You are the fucking backbone of this project. We could not do this without very fast and ironclad reliable engineers, so it's awesome to have you and Ty in that role, and you're foremost in the engineering.
I think that's the first time anyone's ever called me reliable before.
Yeah, this.
Ty, I can only speak relative to myself. So as unreliable as I am, you are not as bad. No.
Put that on the grave.
I'll never die.
I love how this project is going. It's great. I've never been able to do anything like this, and I've been wanting to for a long time. So when Beefy told me about it, it was an instant yes.
Well, and Ones and Zeros by Beefy has got to be one of the greatest fucking beats that I've ever heard.
Yeah. Thank you.
By anyone. By anyone.
All of like the dopest songs that I do live, like the ones that get people hyped up, they're all my Tanner songs. Like You Can Call Me Beef is one that's a lot of cool high energy. I open up every show with. He did my song Tabletop. He does Ones and Zeros. He does all my dopest stuff. Tanner started working he got into the nerdcore world working with Router.
Oh yes.
I'm sure he has like many stories. Maybe we'll have a whole separate podcast about fun Router.
Didn't everybody was brought here by Router in some capacity, right? You know, she's sort of this, you know.
Well, I mean, if you count the fact that, that's what you guys were originally doing, wasn't it? Was the Triforce thing?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I mean, you know how, Glenn, funny you bring that up, because you know how I jokingly and sort of meanly accused you of doing that stupid high school movie trope where you break up with the band and you get back together, except without that one guy? So what happened with Grammar Club is it is Triforce, but we broke up and we reformed without that one guy, and her name was MC Router.
Yeah. There's a Balloon Flight version with Router in there, man. Like there's a secret Router version of Balloon Flight.
I have never
out there in the ether.
I never knew about that. That's amazing.
Yeah. I got it somewhere. I think I have a copy of it somewhere.
That
in the
seems
dark
like
ether.
something for the Patreons, maybe.
Yeah, what level do we got to subscribe at to get that?
But I don't want to summon her.
That's a good point though. Like I don't know what she's up to right now.
I don't know what she's up to. Last I saw,
let's not turn this into a Router cast.
You're wrong. She was on Dr. Phil.
She was on Dr. Phil. You can YouTube it.
I wish her all the best. I wish her all the best somewhere else.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But all the best though.
But all the best.
All the best.
All the best.
Number one. Okay.
But what if you're the best?
I've had to deal with that my entire life. I don't know what else to do, man. I don't know what else to do. But no, Tanner is amazing. What?
Nothing ever happened.
Nothing ever happened. Man, I suck. I suck at this.
Oh, nice. It's okay.
So this is the only project Tanner works on, as we established early on in this podcast. And we're just super thrilled to have him on, because he is, like Shael said, really prolific. He works real hard on my work, and he's able to turn my shit into just diamonds.
Shit into diamonds, yep.
Shit into diamonds. That's my next album.
Beefy and I have talked about this before, but every time I send him a beat, I think it sucks, and then he puts vocals on it, and I'm like, oh, this isn't so bad after all.
Yeah. Turns out I'm amazing. I forgot about it, and then Beefy reminded me about how amazing I am.
That's like the opposite. That's like what I do with Ty, except I start with like just the vocals on a really anemic beat, and I'm like, this is not good, but maybe if I send it to Ty, it will be, and then it is.
And then it becomes good.
It becomes good, because I know he can turn that trash into something I like.
Exactly. And me and Shael have discussed this many times about Tanner and Ty.
Right.
They're wizards practicing black magic.
Ty is a very powerful wizard.
He's a very powerful. They're
very
just,
powerful.
They're just wizards. They have cauldrons and also tape decks, I'm sure, and some kind of keyboard arrangement.
That's a good.
That'll be handy when we do start playing D&D. That'll be very handy to have some wizards.
Yeah.
Ty, hello.
Hello.
How's it going? Good to talk.
Oh, pretty good. Yep.
Yeah. We've worked together more than anybody else here. You are my most trusted collaborator. You're a musical genius, and it's awesome to work with you always, because, Gino, just like I said, I send you something and you make it good. And that's a good working relationship.
At least half of it. One side of it's great.
I do my you must get something out of me. I don't want to look a gift horse in the mouth. I don't want to think about it too much.
Just the right amount.
Why don't you want to look at his mouth?
No,
I've seen a horse's mouth. They're disgusting.
Why wouldn't you want to look at his mouth?
Right, his mouth is fine.
What am I, some kind of veterinary dentist?
Look at that mouth.
No, Ty, tell us. Yeah. How did I meet you? How did you meet me? I guess Overclocked Remix through Doug Arley and Michelle Zuzo.
It's probably because Zelda is such a happy game, Shael.
Probably because I did that.
Yeah.
Because I did that one thing that one time. That's the one. That's the thing I did the one time.
The only thing you ever did. Yeah.
The only one.
In 20 years.
Proud of it.
No, I think
Stand by it.
We first,
Good work.
Our first ever collaboration was at that MagFest. I think it was MagFest 7 when we did that set when I was on the drums. That was like the first time we ever really worked together on anything.
Drums?
And then
Wait,
we
was
did
like a jam space?
The SOL thing Yeah, it was at the Jam Space at MagFest.
Okay. Yeah. I don't remember that. What did we... what? You're blowing my mind here. I thought the first thing we really did together was that SOL recording. You're telling me at MagFest 7 we did something together?
That was...
What did we do at MagFest 7? Because I don't really remember that.
We did Modular 11 or Modular 12, whatever it was called.
Okay. Yeah.
And then you did like
Yeah.
And we played a set with Schnaboobala.
Yes.
And then after that,
Sorry.
we did the thing in Orlando at Doug's house where we did the SOL in like 20 minutes.
Yeah. And I think, was Rick there? Was Ricky there?
Yeah, Ricky was there.
Yeah, we were hanging out. And like, just at that same time, like, a few days before, I was joking with Ricky that Double Ice Backfire would be a good name if I were ever to make like a band. And originally, like, Ricky was going to do music with us. He did a little bit. He put a couple things together like GarageBand, and I think he did a little bit of Little Sound DJ sequencing or tracking for a couple of covers that we put out before we started working on the Songs from the Pit EP. And he wrote Other Side of Memphis. So he wrote one of the songs that went on that record,
which goes back to Router again.
Another Router reference, man.
No, it does. She is everywhere. She is the net that casts the widest. Yeah.
Exactly. What I was gonna say.
Oh man. So I'm sorry. I've totally lost all momentum because of these technical problems, and I'm not wine drunk. All right.
We should come back around
Anyway.
to Shael Riley at some point too, because
Yes.
being the host, there was no one to talk about the wonder that is Shael Riley and his toy box of tricks.
That's right.
Oh yeah. Okay.
He rises to the very most costly occasions.
Man, all right.
Despite the occasional
talk about
cost.
myself. Sure.
He knows
sure.
he knows how to fire a gun.
He sure damn well.
Okay.
Well, he wants to learn at least.
Yes.
Special move in every U.S. state.
And which legit, let's time out for a second. That sounds like a legit fun game. If you had a fighting game where you learned a new special move anytime you visited a new U.S. state, that would encourage, I don't know, a lot more travel. I don't know. That sounds fun.
That to me
It's
sounds
kinda
like
like
the Grammar
Pokemon
Club
Go.
video game.
You could do
It's
that
kind
in
of
real
like
life.
I was describing Pokemon Go many years before Pokemon Go. I'm just gonna put that out there.
So what you're saying is that you're ahead of your time.
Maybe a little bit. Maybe just a touch.
My wife is in here trying to like very sneakily put things into the freezer, and it's adorable.
Yeah.
It's so great. She's so good at
I
it.
wish
You
I had
don't
some of
even
that
hear
free-
her right now.
I had to turn the air conditioning off for the condenser mic, and I wish I had someone opening a freezer in here. It's so hot. All right, I'm Shael. Where do I begin? I don't know.
Where did you begin?
Yeah, I guess as far as anyone knows or cares, with was that a kid? Is there a baby in the background?
Sometimes my
That's
babies
cool.
they make noise. Dog,
Hey man,
right?
no problem.
She
It's
felt bad.
it's
She was like, I just want to open the door real quick, and then Ollie was like,
What I was curious about is, Shael, did you meet yourself on the MC Chris message boards?
in a sense. I found myself on the MC
that's even
Chris
better.
message boards.
That's even better. So we got to have MC Chris as a special guest on this album.
Yeah,
That's
that
what
kind
you're
of makes
saying.
sense.
I'll ask him. I'll ask him if he'll come on. I know he likes you, Beefy. He likes you, Glenn. I guess he knows you. He knows your thing. I don't think he knows who I
Didn't
am.
like me after a while. I wrote some things on my blog one time he disagreed with. I don't know.
Well, eventually he disagrees with. I hear he sometimes disagrees. I don't know.
I think he'd be open to it now that we're grown up.
You know,
and he
man,
has a
I
kid.
was watching C-Lab the other day.
Hell
He's
yeah.
still good.
He's still good.
Hesh still wants
Hesh
poppers.
Still wants all that sex. Married.
Yeah. Man.
That was how I learned about Nerdcore. Goddamn C-Lab. I heard Fet's Vet at the end of that episode. And they talk about going on tour with Chris and stuff. And I was like,
yeah,
I
me
just
too.
looked up, my backpack's got jets.
Got jets.
In Google. I started listening to that in class, and then this kid, David Wolski, shout out to David Wolski, fucking was like, you listen to Nerdcore? I'm like, what the, no? What is that? Sounds stupid. I listen to hardcore hip-hop rap music, bro. And it's like, no, there's a lot of guys, you should look up MC Front a lot, and there's a lot of guys making rap music for nerds. I'm like, that sounds stupid. I heard them, and then I immediately copied it.
Yeah.
And that's how nerdcore happened. And that's how the second generation of nerdcore was born.
The week after I heard MC Frontalot's "Gonna Be Your Man," I made my first nerdcore hip hop track.
Because that was a song fight song, right?
It was. And then then the next week was Mumbo Jumbo, and I became the deaf author for that, and I won the next week. And
what is Mumbo Jumbo? Is that a song? Was that a song fight title, or is that?
It was a song fight title. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. It's not a particularly good one. I'm not.
I haven't heard that one.
It. Yeah. It's and you're not missing out.
No.
You're not missing out.
All right. Okay.
I
won't look it up.
and lost 2, so you did better. You did great.
I had friends that flooded it.
Cheating.
The friends
like it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's the real secret to any song fighter's success.
Oh yeah.
To any online voting success.
Yeah. All right. Okay. I don't know what should I say about myself, Beefy. Why don't you got to prompt me like I prompted you.
Shael, when did you start feeling like you were a good singer-songwriter? Because you were in your lyrics, you seem you put a lot of emotion in there, sometimes some self-doubt. Do you feel at this point that do you feel like you're a good musician, singer-songwriter? Do you feel at a point that you can tell yourself like, hey, I'm good at this?
I could tell myself that.
Do you feel it? Do you feel it in your heart? Because we can tell you that you're amazing all day because we all sing your songs.
I don't ever feel anything.
Yeah. All right, Bojack, just try to pretend.
No. I'm okay.
Good. Because you're like the backbone, you're the spine that holds this whole. Because you set it up. Not only people don't know how the Grammar Club works. People don't get it. You should.
It's I facilitate the Grammar Club. You guys are very talented, and I'm all right.
At the end of the day, I think that's better than the alternative. Yeah.
Yeah. If you were just facilitating us and sucked, then
by the numbers, it's 5 times better. So than the alternative.
Just continue to demonstrate extreme competence.
Extreme competence is
the most extreme competence that you can muster.
It's hard to demonstrate extreme competence in something that's so subjective.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't know, because I'm amazing in all forms of music, so I think it's all just about confidence, baby.
Actually, honestly, I'm happier with my writing right now than I ever have been. I am very happy with the work we're doing together. I love songwriting, and you go in and out of how into the stuff you're into you are. And right now, I am very into songwriting, and I think I am a better musician than I ever have been. I've never been extremely technical, but my technical skills have steadily grown over the long years I've been doing this, and feeling good. I like what I'm doing. I like working with you guys. I like what I've been doing by myself before. I put out a game called String Theory, which is an ear training game that I'm very proud of.
That's what I want to ask you about your other projects.
Please talk about that. That's such a good game.
Thank you. It's so it's an ear training game. You're presented with a number of strings and a background music loop. There I wrote 30, 40, 50, I don't remember exactly how many background loops. And the loop is outlining a particular chord. You have to strum the strings with your mouse, and you cut the strings that are inharmonic to the chord, the ones that are not actually in the background music you're listening to. Yeah, the old CEG string theory basic piano loop there. So I just came up with that game concept one day. It's a very simple concept, but I don't think it had been done before. I've had a number of professional musicians and professional music instructors praise me on it, and very happy that it's been fairly well received.
And there's Steam trading cards.
Yeah, Steam trading cards. So I make a few bucks.
Oh shit! You have
every
Steam
now and
trading
again.
Cards? That's awesome.
Yeah,
I didn't realize. That's awesome.
So now I'm in the very, very small privileged minority of Steam users who doesn't lose money during the Steam sales. I make it. So how about that? Life is good, boys, isn't it? Right?
It's so good.
Yeah. So that's cool. I could never have done that without being on OC Remix, and over the years slowly accruing enough theory knowledge to conceptualize and make that game. So, big shout out to all those guys. Elshawn, Ty, I met you through there, and Beefy, I never would have given you that kind of criticism that sparked our relationship. I would have probably gone along with the dope hot fire one-liner that everybody else was giving you, which, it's nice to be praised, but it's not always the most conducive to growth. So,
but I prefer it.
Yeah. I prefer it too, and I'm done growing. Now we're grown, and we're just gonna
I've grown
kick
enough.
back.
Yeah,
I've
learned everything I need to have learned at this
Yeah,
point.
man. Right the fuck on.
Well,
so
I
that's
want to.
what we're doing now.
I just want to tell everybody because Glenn kind of kicked it off. Making sure that we had this kind of reason to kind of let's start talking about doing some stuff and setting it up for the show, and it kind of snowballed, and that's all Shael. I mean, you're setting it up. You're making sure we have these things put together. You came up with the idea of setting up the Patreon and getting some things to our fans who are really incredibly excited about us. So we're all happy to be here. We're all pumped up. We all spent an hour talking about how dope you are. So. Shael, how excited we are for this project, rather.
Shael is fantastic at taking one idea and turning it into like 10 ideas.
It's called ADD.
But you actually write it down, so well done, dude.
My weakness is my strength. Right?
Just turn that frown upside down, buddy.
Right on. No, I'm fucking with you. I love you. I'm fucking with you. All right. All right.
3, 2, 1
So.
podcast.
Okay, I have an outline. I'm going to follow this outline. And the outline is for us to actually talk about our backgrounds as musicians. So where did you get your start? Where did you become a musician? What brought you to writing songs, editing audio files, et cetera, et cetera? Where did you learn? Why did you want to learn? And what's your background before the Grammar Club? And before all the stuff we've been talking about, if you've mentioned your previous bands, where did you really start as a musician? Starting with Sean, alphabetical order.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Oh, we're starting over again. So I begged my mom for a keyboard when I was like 4, and it just didn't stop after that. Then I played it all the time. I wrote lots of little songs. When I was 10, I went into the garage at my grandpa's house, and there was an old rusty guitar, and I was like, what's that? And I picked it up, and I was like, this works kind of like the piano, and like in that it makes notes.
I can envision this.
And, a half hour later, I'd figured out how to play La Bamba.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I went inside with it, and my grandfather was like, keep that. So that was really nice. From there, it's, I discovered early on that I was going to waste my life as a musician. It was an inevitability. And everything from that, I cannot look at something that I'm interested in and not want to tear it apart and pull it apart and figure out absolutely how everything works. That includes the guitar, making music, understanding how computers work, engineering. If I take an interest in something, I tend to not be satisfied with just, oh, well, that works. So that led to, learning how to record and mix and produce and write and do all of my own stuff. The writing is a lot lighter than the other things because while I'm good at certain things and very good at certain other things, I am bereft of original creative ideas. So I try to play to my strengths, and I
feel like a strength is recognizing that in oneself.
Right. So I play to the strength of being able to take stuff that other people write and trying to explore it and make it bigger or sometimes smaller, depending on what the situation calls for. And that's how I ended up with the video game remix community, is because you're taking stuff that other people wrote. A lot of times stuff like Nintendo stuff where it's just, 4 channels, and then taking that and expanding it. And then in more recent times, taking things where it's full orchestrations and turning it into just smaller, just guitar things. So, yeah, I've pretty much all my life been interested in doing that sort of thing. I did go to school, studied jazz guitar, which is obvious, based on my output.
Yeah, it makes sense now. But I did not know.
So,
no, I didn't.
So
I shared that analytical inclination, for the things I'm passionate about too. It's led me to making music, and led me to making video games. Right, anything I really enjoy, I want to participate in.
Yeah, if you go to open a door, you don't just trust that the knob works. You want to know how it latches.
Exactly.
You want to play a chord. You don't want to just trust that. Well, if I move this up and down, it stays a major chord. You want to look at it and go, well, why? Why does that do what it does? I'm not happy just knowing that it happens. I have to know what made it happen. And then you become obsessive about it and you write nerdy music. So anyway, that's pretty much me. Let's move on to the beefiness.
That's awesome. All right. Beefy.
Well, 8th grade, hip hop was dope. And Eminem came out, and I was like, "Oh snap! White people can do this." And I'm white.
Wait, hang on. What the Beastie Boys, sir, have been around?
I was young. I didn't have cable. There was no internet. I didn't have dope cousins or friends that listened to.
Didn't have dope
Boys,
cousins.
So I had no idea.
Not to mention third base.
Cool cousin.
Not even dope cousins.
I have Mexican cousins. Mexican cousins listen to different stuff over in Wapato.
All right, that's fair, I guess.
So I had no
Did
idea.
At least get you into like.
Honestly, I did not listen to
wrestling?
hip hop before Biggie Smalls. Oh yeah, hell, I got some lucha back.
Yeah. All right,
But,
let's go. Sorry, I didn't mean to sidetrack you there.
But don't make me start talking wrestling. I gotta watch No Mercy after.
I know. I gotta stop myself from talking wrestling, but yeah.
In fact, we gotta hard out this soon because I got kids too. Shit, man, they're all
okay.
Yeah. Anywho, their girl. I was really into hip hop. Listened to a lot of Biggie Smalls and East Coast rap. And then the girl that I sat in front of in 8th grade, she was really into hip hop, and I told her I was a rapper, and I had never rapped a day in my life. I just sang like Jay-Z songs and Biggie songs on the bus to the sporting events. But so I started writing my own raps to beats I found just to kind of impress the girl, met some other friends that were rapping. I didn't realize how shit I was at it. I still didn't realize I was shit at it until I started posting things on the internet. But I just really wanted to impress some people, make some friends, and that's kind of how I started rapping. It's just my hobby, and I just do it for fun. And over time, trying to impress people on the internet as opposed to just like the girl right in front of me, I feel like I've learned to get better and figure out what actually rap is, and actually like go back and listen to things like the Beastie Boys and go back and listen to things that I didn't have access to when I was a kid. And
I've heard you become like way more technical than you used to be. I mean, I've heard very consistent like progress, and now you're. I mean, the first Beefy track we're gonna release is fucking
it's
powerhouse.
Is the first?
Oh yeah, that is so good.
It's that one. Oh yeah, that's a change for him.
Hall of Fame.
I don't know which
Hall of
one is
Fame.
the first. Hall of Fame. Because when we start getting into truck month, baby, it's gonna get.
Well,
it's gonna get real
we can't lift the curtain too much.
I'm just saying. I'm just throwing out that prepare for truck month. All right, the truck month will last all year
prepare for truck
long.
month.
So that's a good segue. What inspired you to rap about the things you rap about?
When in 8th grade, it was not about nerdcore. It was about, hey, this is what I've listened to. So you have to write about guns. You got to write about being hard and violence. And rap was I got to keep it real. And I was the biggest liar in the world. I'm this 8th grade half white, half mixed kid in the fucking Tri-Cities who hasn't seen a day of strife in his life. So I was just lying all day. And it wasn't until I went to high school and heard nerdcore and realized, oh fuck, like I have original ideas for songs and stuff, but I have no original idea for like bigger picture shit. Like I have no idea you're allowed to do some of the things until I see somebody else do it. And so I saw nerdcore. I thought, oh, you can rap about not getting the girl and about being the dweeb and like, hey, but there is that struggle that rappers talk about the struggle. Well, this is my struggle. This is what I like to talk about. So nerdcore, we rap about the comic books and video games and everything like that. But in the songs I try to do, or I like to try to attempt to do, is to kind of put myself in their shoes, get inside their emotions. I like to tell the story from the character's point of view. We had a song about Ender's Game where I pretend to be Ender and shit like that. So I like that music, and I like to kind of incorporate my emotions into the lives of like the video game characters that I relate to. So it's been pretty cool. I think we've had some success with it. Also, I like to talk about how dope I am and how big my dick is. Hey, baby. Huge. That's right, girl. Thanks, boo. That's why I married you. But yeah, that's why I do me. I love it, and I love being me. And then I have people on the internet that tell me I'm cool, or I ignore all the ones that tell me I suck because they just don't have fast enough internet to be on my level. So, I just love being me, and I love pretending to be confident. Being beefy is so much more fun than being Keith Moore, and I'll do that all day. I love it.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Thanks.
All right. So Glenn.
All right, I'll try to make it brief. Being the oldest member of the group, I have
Wait, are you really?
So tell us about the Beatles and the Rolling Stones.
I'm not the old man now.
Because I was around for that. No.
You were around for the Breakfast Club.
I was around for that.
When you were around for Cheap Trick.
When I was 12 years
Sorry, go
old,
ahead.
I got my first keyboard from my grandparents. My grandfather passed away, and it was his wife that decided that I should have the Casio keyboard that I used to dink around on when I would go and visit them. And so that's why I even know that I could play. And that's actually the reason that I go by Glenn Case, because while it's not my legal name, but it is what my legal name should be. And it was my grandfather that passed away that is Robert Case. And so technically I really am Glenn Case, but I have a completely different legal last name that I won't disclose here.
For tax purposes.
Yes, exactly. It's more a
I don't
matter
think any of us. I think you have actually told me, but I totally forgot. I don't think any of us know your real name now.
No, and it's better that that's not the case, because the first thing that happens when you look up the legal last name is, oh yeah, there's my address and my phone number and all of that stuff.
Right,
too. So it's so it's nice to have that slight anonymity and in truth, that's why I do, because Case is a lot easier to pronounce and it works out as a good stage name and everything too. So
yeah, it really has a good ring to it.
Thank you. I would agree with that. So my first stuff, even before I was using 4-track stuff, though, I would just record onto a normal cassette deck. And I thought, hey, if I take this second cassette deck that I have, I'll record something, play it back on one, and then play along with that onto a second thing. So I was doing like with what you would do with a 4-track without realizing that there was such a thing as a 4-track. And
yeah, that's
so,
really
oh yeah, when I moved to multi-tracking with a cassette 4-track, that was the most mind-blowing thing ever. Side note, I've tried to go back to cassette 4-track here recently, and it's painful in comparison when you start getting used to being able to go digital on it. Because if you fuck up and record over part of it, then you're screwed.
Gone.
Wait, there's no Control Z?
Right? It's exactly it. There's no Control Z. It's
Command Z for my Apple friends?
But the physical compressor built into saturating a tape is so good.
Oh yeah.
People who haven't worked with people who haven't done tape, man.
I used to use my 4-track for my guitar effects. I didn't have a guitar effects processor. I would just plug my guitar into my 4-track, turn up the gain, and then it had like a natural distortion to it where people would compliment me on my guitar tone, and that's all it was just like plugged in direct through a 4-track. So so from there, that's what happened. And it's funny that you mentioned the Beastie Boys earlier. When I was 13 years old, Licensed to Ill by the Beastie Boys came out. So my love for hip-hop came out about that time, actually, like in the late 80s. And that's where I learned to love oldies music, because my parents would force me to listen to oldies music, and I'd have no interest in it. But all of a sudden, I'd hear a song like Spinning Wheel by Blood, Sweat, and Tears and say, wait a second, I recognize that, because Third Bass, other white rappers, used it
I'd go
in
as
their
far
tracks.
as to say you can hear that
Sons of
in
Third Bass.
your stuff.
What's that?
You can hear like the oldies influence in a lot of the work that you do.
That's cool. And that came from hip-hop. For me, that came from hip-hop, because hip-hop
That's really
used the
interesting.
old songs. And then I was
like secondhand.
all of a sudden interested. I'm interested in oldies music now because of the fact that it was used in something more modern. And my first nerdy rap was actually in 1992. I made a track called Rhyme Expedition, where I was rapping about slaying a dragon.
As the definitive author?
Yeah, the definitive author, exactly. Yeah, as the deaf author. I still have a cassette recording of it, and it's like, it's me and a Casio keyboard rapping about slaying a dragon. And somehow I think we were supposed to slay a dragon by rapping really well.
That's a good concept. That's kind of a Devil Went Down to Georgia, right?
It was along those lines. So
that is a tried and true formula.
We could share that on the Patreon.
Shael Riley died like that. He got rapped at in a Kabuto song one time, and he died. That happened at a rap party. He had a very specific fear, and then it came true, and then he died.
He started rapping at me.
So when I heard MC Front a lot, I'm like, holy shit, this is what I've been wanting to do, and it's the reason that I'd not, I wanted to be a rapper for a while, from about 87 to 92, but the subject matter, never really lined up, and it's like, this feels natural. This is stuff I can rap about, and so it opened up those floodgates for a short while. And
do you remember how cool that was to know MC Front a lot back in the day?
Oh hell yeah!
Not just to know. I mean, to know Damien
at the first
is a cool thing, but to know of him before, just to know of.
He's So no, the mind blower for me was MC Frontalot did not have a legitimate band yet for the first Penny Arcade Expo, so he put it out on the song fight boards. He asked if anyone would be willing to come over there and play bass and play keyboards, and I'm like, hell yes, I will. So we had 2.5 rehearsals that weekend, and we played for 700 people, and we were not very good. Not very good at all.
I still have
You know
the
what's
DVD
funny?
release of your recording of at the first Penny Arcade. They
No
had a DVD.
shit.
Yeah, and I this was back in when no one knew what Frontalot looked like because he was just that picture of the Afro dude.
Sure.
And I needed to know what the F Frontalot looked like because I didn't believe any of the pictures I saw on the internet. So I bought that whole DVD collection. I had talked to you on there. You told me that you would play bass for him and stuff like that. So I knew what you looked like. I knew where you were. And he was rapping for a while, and I was like, where's Frontalot? Because in my mind, I pictured this black dude with the huge afro.
And what's funny is there was a black dude with a huge afro up on stage with him, and that's Uke. That's his friend Uke.
Uke. So Uke is I posted a picture of that on some Theater Hopper webcomics forum, and some guy was like, that's awesome, but who's that, that bald dude standing next to Frontalot? I'm like, no, dude, that is Frontalot. That's Frontalot. He was like,
that's
what?
Amazing.
Mine's blown all week because of freaking Frontalot, man.
So funny.
So the next year, he had his legitimate band, and they were 10 times better.
They were great. That was the first Penny Arcade I went to. That was amazing.
Yeah, it was really but I treasure that time. And we went to a first time I'd ever had pho at a place there in Bellevue called What the Pho.
Well,
yeah. So yeah, that was a good experience. And that's I imagine that covers most of the bases there.
Yeah, thank you. It's awesome. All right. Okay, Tanner.
Yes. So I pretty much started out always kind of liking the technical stuff. My friend in high school wanted to start a band, and for some reason I said, okay, well, I'll take care of the lighting stuff. That'd be fun. And he was like, no, you should play an instrument. So that's when I started playing drums. I bought a little Behringer 4-track analog mixer that we just plugged into the 1/4-inch jack of the computer and had just the worst microphone set up. But I was always more interested in the recording than the actual music making, but it's a little more balanced now these days, doing stuff on my own and doing stuff for other people. It's been a lot of fun. But yeah, I don't know. I wanted to keep it short. That's about it.
Okay.
I mean,
take it.
Yeah, we mentioned the router thing earlier, and working with Beefy and you too, Shael. But yeah.
All right, cool.
It's mostly been computer based. I never had to use a tape deck or anything like that. But
you're a lucky man.
Well,
smart.
I did have a Radio Shack mixer when I was 4 or 5, and would tend to record our vinyls to tapes that way, just different vinyl tracks mixed in. I guess it's always been around. My parents introduced me to a lot of music when I was younger, so always had a lot of different influences, and I think that probably comes through at times when one day I'm working on an indie rock track, and then the next day working on something for Beefy or Grammar Club.
Yeah,
but
you're very, very versatile. You're very good at bridging the gaps between genres, gluing tracks that don't sound cohesive naturally together in a way that makes them sound cohesive, and really appreciate that. You've been bringing that to the table.
Well, this has been a lot of fun. Yeah, I mean, this is just... We're going to go far, I think. You guys are awesome.
That depends on Tom Carvel. No, sorry.
Fudgy!
Sorry. All right, Ty.
I feel like we're going to carvel our own niche into this whole thing.
We're going to do that. Ty, where did you get your start as a musician?
I started out probably I was about 7. My mom got me a keyboard and pretty much didn't play it at all. I played it a little bit. I got into the video game music thing pretty early on too. Around the same age, I figured out how to plug my Game Boy into the stereo, and I would play along on the keyboard. But my mom sent me for lessons when I was about 8, and I hated it. I lasted about 5 minutes, and I was done. Called my mom, come get me. I want to go home. And I didn't play
the same thing happened to me.
Me too, but
and I didn't play again. I didn't play again until I was around 15. And about 15, I got into the guitar, and then got into a band in high school. And Ironically, I wasn't doing the mixing for that band. A friend of mine, Aaron Jenkins, did. Shout out to Aaron, which is kind of funny because he didn't know what he was doing either. But
He was more bold.
yeah. Well, he was the one who had the computer, so
Yeah.
it was that.
With different times.
So yeah, then I got into the OCR thing, and that's where I started really getting into like the production and arrangement and stuff. I think arrangement is like my forte, you know.
Yeah.
Taking an idea for a song and fleshing it out into like an actual finished product. I think that's what I do best. Doesn't always work. You know, sometimes you run out of ideas
Usually
and you
works.
just end up throwing drum loops on a MIDI. I call that the VG mix, the good old VG mix.
That's only funny to me and you.
Also me.
But it is funny to
Not
me.
to be-
And that's
No
what
MIDI
matters.
riffs.
No MIDI riffs.
That's right. No MIDI rips.
No, fuck that. We still MIDI rip.
Okay, MIDI riffs.
The VG mix
Sometimes
method is not
MIDI
to be
rips.
confused with the OC remix method, which is where you start with the VG mix method, but then a bunch of know-it-alls dress you down first.
That's
How is that different than the VG mix method?
well, the know-it-alls don't dress you down until later in the VG.
Oh,
mix
okay.
method.
It's the dressing down is before instead of
Before.
after.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And you don't even have to stick around for the dressing down in the VG mix method. That's optional.
That's true. You could
balance.
just, you could just post some Fanatics Tower of Power and then bolt.
That's right.
Holy shit, I forgot about Fanatics Tower of Power.
That's how
I will
know
never
the
forget
words
about
to the
F-top.
battle music from Final Fantasy. The fight.
Cyan, he is just... Wait, no, that's Shadow. Damn it. How could I conflate?
Cheyenne is really strong.
Really strong.
Really strong and
really
smart.
strong and smart and really quick. Agile and powerful. The king of skill, he sought revenge. Right? That's... Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. Fanatics Tower of Power.
Years ago,
From
man.
town to
I
town,
love Fanatics
cover a
Tower
lot
of
of
Power
ground.
so much. I would just play them with my dorm room open because I really wanted the hall to know about Fanatics Tower of Power.
I remember you
Whoever
talking
was in the
about,
hallway
like-
really needed to know about F-Top.
I remember
when
you
I was in
having
college-
problems in college.
Yeah.
With people thinking you were super nerdy. And you've just explained it pretty effectively right now.
Yeah, no. I wouldn't, I mean, yeah, I was. But they had to know about F-Top. Anyway.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, thank you. Okay.
All right, Shael.
yeah.
All right, me, I guess.
You.
All right. So I also got a keyboard from my parents when I was 7. Very common story, right? It was a Casio SK5. Devin is holding on to it for me. Devin, my brother, uses it in his weekly video game Twitch streams now as a soundboard. But, I'll probably take it back from him sometime. I love that thing. I used SK5 samples in the Hall of Fame remix that I started and Ty's finishing up now. That's where the dog and the laser and the lion all came from. So, I was 7, I got his keyboard. I loved putting the demo on and switching the voices. I loved re-instrumenting the demo. I would love turning everything into vibraphones, into piano. I would make like the stupid surf sound effect sometimes, the melody, which would essentially remove the melody and allow me to do it like karaoke. I just kind of used the keyboard in all the ways I could except as an instrument.
You have the setting called Frog.
Not on that one, but there was Dog, and that was my favorite.
Oh, nice.
Dog
And,
piano
yeah.
was the best.
Dog, yeah. Dog piano was the best. I loved taking the 6 different classical music demos and making them all just dog barks. Like, so that was when I was a little kid. I got a little older, and I started listening to like grunge and post-grunge rock music stuff. And I was in an Alice in Chains cover band for a bit when I was like 15, 16, and then we started writing our own music. And then I discovered VGmusic.com, and I was like, MIDIs are the best because they don't take up any space, and I'm going to download 1 million onto my 486, and I'm going to listen to MIDIs all the time. And I did. And then I discovered Overclocked Remix through VG Music, and I was like, fuck MIDIs. MP3s are the best.
Hey, did you discover the comic before you discovered the remix site?
I did. And you know what? Actually, it's a good segue into that the next section is a trivia contest, and you just ruined one of my questions. I'm going to read you that question that I composed before this conversation.
Is it about zeroing?
It is not about zeroing, but the question is, before it was dedicated to fan covers of video game music, Overclock.org hosted works of this non-musical artistic medium, and the answer is, of course, the webcomic.
Yeah, Pretzel and Green.
Yes, Pretzel and Green. Originally, the question asked what was the name of the webcomic, but I thought no one's going to remember Pretzel and Green because I had to look it up. But yeah,
we never forget him,
guys. All right, let's do. Very short.
Did you have the Casio Rat Man?
No. I remember the Rat Man.
That?
No.
No, I cannot say that I did.
It has a turntable. I did not have the Rat Man. It makes scratching sounds.
I remember the Rat Man. I remember seeing advertisements for it in magazines. Yeah, it's got a good name.
Yeah, that may be the
Rat Man. All right, actually. All right, before we do trivia, there are only like 4 trivia questions. Before that, let's go around one more time and just tell me who you're listening to now. What are your musical influences, and what are you listening to right now, even if it's not like an influence of yours? You'd say, what are you putting in your ears? Well, that's
a weird
at the beginning again. Why did I say it that way? That's like
I feel like
a Q-tip.
That's the best way to go.
I guess. All right.
Okay, so I listen to music probably surprisingly less than people would expect, despite working literally in a record store. So I hear what the kids who are cool enough to work in the record store play, but I don't know what a lot of it is. But just recently, I discovered a band called Midlake, and I recommend that everyone check them out. They're very cool, very much melodic, sort of like maybe Ghost with less Satanism, I guess, and a little lighter. Really cool band. I haven't picked up a lot of new stuff recently besides them and maybe Secret Chiefs 3, which is also not new, but is amazing.
So Secret Chiefs 3 was recommended to me like 10 plus years ago when I was in college.
Oh, they're so good.
Never followed up on that. I guess I should have.
I
should do it now.
Familiar. Midlake is from a town that's just like 30 minutes north of me.
Yeah, they're from.
I've heard of them for sure.
They're some Texas dudes, and they're super good, and you should check them out.
Nice. Beefy.
I mean, I listen to some of the Run the Jewel stuff, but I haven't really listened to new music since like 2010. So I'm still like listening to Optimus Rhyme very regularly. I still have Shael Riley and the Double Ice Backfire. That's still on heavy rotation for me. So really, fucking Grammar Club demos has been what I've been listening to. I work where I can listen to music while I'm working for now, and I've just been listening. Like I just go into the drive, and I'm just like, all right, I can listen to Hall of Fame right now. I can listen to this Grammar Club song, this song, Glenn song. I just run through our list and kind of check the right side to see activity to find out like who's there's a new mix up. Let me just check it.
I know.
So yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing. That's been my kind of go-to recently. That, and I'm like I've mentioned several times. Apparently, I'm a freaking dad, so I have kids who like music, and so what I really listen to a lot of is the Sing soundtrack and the Troll soundtrack and the Beauty and the Beast soundtrack. And K-pop, they freaking love K-pop, man. There's this chick named Amber, and I get really upset because in the middle of her Korean song, she says frying pan. And she doesn't have it rhyme with anything, and it really upsets me for some reason. So I'm gonna learn how to say frying pan in Korean, throw that in a song just to upset some Korean guy. Like, what the F?
Dude, are you
doesn't make sense? It doesn't even rhyme. There's no context. Just like I get. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. So shout out to Optimus Rhyme forever and ever, because they're still my favorite band.
Dope.
Except for us.
Yeah.
Glenn Case.
I've been listening to a lot of the Great Mimes because I'm mixing and mastering the album and trying to get all the levels right on that, of course. But outside of that, I started trying to rank all of the songs ever recorded by Steely Dan. And I started.
You were telling me about that.
Yeah, I started that process 2 days before Walter Becker died. For those that didn't know, Walter Becker of Steely Dan just died recently as I'm saying these words here. And I had started working on this Steely Dan thing 2 days before he died. But that almost put even more of a rush on me to really get this project done, hopefully.
Let me ask. Sure. Can keeping track of this progress in a way that you're publishing it as you do it, or is it just something you're doing privately?
When I'm done with it, I will publish the results. I haven't been doing it as I've been going, but I've been keeping track where each time that I listen to each song 3 times, and each time I'll rank it where it's either amazing, which gets 5 points, good, which gets 4 points, decent, which gets 3 points, not as good, 2 points, bad, 1 point, or WTF, which gets 0. And
this is a real deep, like, ad hoc musicology project.
Yeah, I mean, it's more like this fun thing that I can do while I'm at work, because at my day job, it's a data entry style thing where I can be listening to music as I'm getting my work done. And so it's no big deal to just, while I'm listening, be like, yeah, this is really good. And then just like mark that and then continue my work. And so, yeah, that's what I've been doing with that. I have ranked all of the songs. So I know that I think there was 42 songs that I gave perfect scores to out of their catalog. And considering their catalog is not that large, it's a damn good place.
Yeah.
Although I included their solo work as well. So I've listened also to a good amount of the Donald Fagen and Walter Becker's solo catalogs as well.
Awesome. All right. So I guess Tanner?
Yes. This week I am listening to nothing very new, actually. It's an album by a group called Noisia. It is drum and bass, and they have a more recent album called Outer Edges, and the sound design on that is insane. I love listening to it with headphones and with good speakers. They're amazing. But talking about just my main influence, I guess, They Might Be Giants, definitely.
Heck yes.
Yeah.
The biggest one. But also, I got started in electronic production a long time ago in high school. This guy just burned me tons of MP3 CDs with all this stuff, but nothing I remember very well. Like, I remember Orbital. I don't know if any of you guys have listened to them.
I've heard a little of them, yeah.
The old band from the 90s?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know them.
But yeah, I don't know. All sorts of stuff. They Might Be Giants mostly. Love them. They are everything in my mind.
Yeah, everybody loves the Giants.
If you can appreciate good sound design, go back to Outer Edges by Noisia, because they do insane things, and it sounds beautiful.
Oh my goodness, guys, we're up to like an hour and 40 minutes already here, too. So
oh, geez, all right.
May want to go through the rest of it and then maybe wrap this.
Yeah. All right, cool, Noisia. I'll check that out. So, Ty, what do you...
Some Nine Inch Nails, Soundgarden, Steely Dan, Stevie Wonder. Lately, I've been listening to Bad Bad Not Good, Run the Jewels, Blank Banshee, Macross 8299. You know, whatever.
No, that's a good list.
Little bit of everything.
Yeah. All right, I'll do me. I'm always plugging my favorite band, Everything. They just put out a new album called Fever Dream. I'm listening to that. It's moving in kind of a dance rock direction, which I'm digging. All their albums are very different from one another, but I guess they're all math rock, you call them. A lot of polyrhythm and really precisely timed, complicated guitar riffs and British falsetto vocals with interesting, moody, thoughtful kind of lyrics. And if I do say so myself. Also listen to a lot of Cake right now. Just kind of getting back into Cake.
Nice.
Yeah. I just love hearing Cake again. I have a much deeper appreciation for them than I did in the 90s. So also listening to a lot of Thelonious Monk, like Herbie Hancock, the Pandora jazz stations. A lot of that stuff. Actually,
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. I probably listen to that more than anything else at the moment. That's really good stuff. Okay, trivia. So I asked you guys who's bringing a noisemaker, and I think you've obliged because you've been making noises. Going through an alphabetical order, I'd like you to each play your noisemaker just once, starting with Ailshawn. Make your noise. Beautiful. Thank you. Meow. Beefy, make your noise. That's fucking dope. You make the best choices.
Thanks.
Glenn, make your noise. Oh, gosh.
Oh, boy.
Excellent. That is powerful. Okay, Tanner. Very good. Ty Gwenley. Polyphony. Of course you would be the one with polyphony. Who else would have polyphony? All right. Okay. Couple quick questions. All right. Okay. So I ran through the first overclock question. Here's a nerdcore question, and it's also about me, you know, our favorite subject.
GLaDOS.
True or false? That's right. True or false? Billy the Fridge once called me the Paul Heyman of nerdcore. Okay. Glad.
It's 50-50. I'm going to say it's true.
You were wrong.
Oh, no.
That never happened, but I have a caveat. I am, in fact, the Paul Heyman of
Hell
nerdcore.
yeah, you are.
Okay.
Moving on. With that a second.
Take
the Jewish thing, right?
Exactly. Also because I'm bossy, and like I work with people who are just much more talented than me, but I'm good at getting the most out of their talent.
Yes, right. I want you to introduce me. Like, I don't ever want to speak to these podcasts ever again. I want you to speak for me, and I'm just going to kind of dance.
And then have a really unintimidating voice at the end and call you a bitch.
That was my Brock Lesnar impersonation.
Yeah, I get it. Say something stupid, Paul. No. All right. Okay. Question number 2. So Glenn, you have -1 points. Everyone else is 0.
Yeah.
In the lead.
Our longtime friend and graphic artist Ricky Henry hosts a local access television show in the greater Cincinnati area. What is that show's title?
Ding!
Well,
Electric tapes.
All right.
I won.
That is
Good job,
correct.
me.
That is correct.
All right.
Okay.
Good job, Electric Tapes.
Wasn't it originally Basement Tapes, though?
Wasn't
It
it?
was originally Basement Tapes, but right now it is Electric Tapes.
GG, Ricky.
Okay. GG. Beefy, you have 1 point. All right. Okay. Scale degrees 3, 4, 5, 1, and 8, played in sequence, produce this musical in-joke.
Anyway, here's Wonderwall.
Anybody? Thank you. Ty Gwen, I'm going to give you it. 1 point. Ty Gwen.
Wait, I don't get it. I don't know witchcraft.
It's
That's
Sagat's
why it's an
theme, Beefy.
in-joke.
It's Sagat's theme.
Oh, of course. How foolish of me. Damn it, Beefy.
It sounds like da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, okay. I don't get it. So the Wheel of Fortune songs, yeah? No.
Yeah.
Price is Right? Something
Yes.
like that?
No. Ty, what is it you played?
The Cum Shot.
The Cum Shot. The Cum Shot is... That's a little motif that has been going around the video game arrangement community forever. It's worked into little songs, and it's a kind of little funny calling card in-joke signature. So for bonus points, who invented the Cum Shot?
I believe it was Jake, wasn't it?
No. Who just was that Tanner?
Okay.
Oh, Glenn. Okay, Glenn, who invented the Cum Shot?
Shael
No.
Riley.
Thank you. I appreciate that vote of confidence, but it was Prozacs.
It was
Prozacs, believe it or not. Yeah. Sean, you knew this the whole time.
Of course I knew that.
He catted.
Yeah, he buzzed in.
Oh, shit. Okay.
I imagine that when someone answers it wrong, that someone else could still have a chance to answer it right. I figured it wasn't you, but I had to answer that way.
That's fair. All right, guys. That was it. Thank you. I don't know how to do ending. It's just like
We're done now.
I am out. I am out of notes.
Good job,
Goodbye.
Thank you all. Thank you for listening to this, and thank you for surviving it. And tune back in next time, whenever next time may be.